Hello friends and welcome back. I'm Enterprise Architecture and we are playing more modded Vintagestory. Last episode we made a whole bunch of new copper things so that we could start taking advantage of our mill, which you can see is now finished behind me. We started making everything we need to start distilling our cranberries we've been growing into aqua vitae, which we're going to later use for another project. Today we are switching gears a little bit because we need to do some chores and start expanding our fields a bit for our future growth. So with no further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so up above me you can see I finally finished off the last of our windmill, and those blocks there that are sticking out on this edge underneath my cursor here, that's where our additional windmill blades will come at some point. I also will probably upgrade our big windmill here into a large bladed windmill, which will give us even more power than what we've got right now, but that is a future project. I think this is starting to look pretty nice in here, but we still need a bunch more gears to finish off the inside of this. And that means we need to start a couple of our other farms. We need to start our resin farm, and we need to increase our flax farm considerably to be able to keep up with that demand, because that's the main way that we are getting oil right now to replace fat is going to be flax. So how are we going to get there? Well, first things first, let's go over to our little garden that we started pretty much at the beginning of the pack right here. And let's get the rest of our flax that has grown. So we've got a bunch more flax that is now mature since the last time we came through here. Oh, and it looks like we have some wine caps as well. That's surprising. But good. We said before we wanted more mushrooms, and I certainly am not opposed to wine caps randomly growing in here. Grab up all of this flax, and this is at 7 of 9, so we're going to give this, well, you know what, this is close enough to the end. We're just going to go ahead and break it right now. We're going to get most of those seeds back. Missing 1 or 2 pieces is not really going to hurt us at this point. Right, we have 20 more flax seeds in this basket, so we need way more flax than this. In the long run, we are going to need a boatload of flax. So what we can do is take our flax and we can put it in with a pan, and 2 pieces of flax will give us a bunch of flax seeds. So I think this is probably a good place to stop. And again, this is just our wooden pan that we normally use for sieving and sifting. So we actually are going to put this back over here with our bony soil so that we can come back to it later. It is now nighttime, and this is not the best time to be building here, but I think what we're going to do is actually build our new field adjacent to the old field. I think we have a nice little space here that we can clear out if we spend some time cutting down all of these trees. All right, so we have cleared out a lot of this hill next to our main field here, and this is where we are going to start building our little flax empire. So we're going to grab 2 stacks of our high fertility soil. We do have some other high fertility soil nearby on the map. Not this star, this is our actual farm, but there's a bunch of spots down here on the island just below us. So we might need to go and gather some of that up so we continue growing this farm in the future. So what we need to do is build a bunch of these donut blocks. I've talked about these before. I like to call them donut blocks because I used to play the original SimCity, and this is how you would build your blocks. And we're going to put water in the middle of each of these blocks. All right, so we've got 16 of these now. This is going to be the starting point. We just need to put water down. All right, so now we have a full field here. Now all we need to do is grab up our stone hoe, our flint hoe, excuse me, and we will go ahead and dig up all of these so that we can now lay these out as farm plots. Unfortunately, the hoe is very, very slow, so this will take a second as well. All right, here are our tilled fields, and we have enough flax that we are going to be able to do 10 of these donuts. So let me get these filled in real fast. So there's 10 of those donuts done. All right, we'll put our gate right here, and we'll put a matching gate on the other end right here. There we go. And of course, we still have the bug where those are backwards. I don't have a wrench yet to be able to rotate them. Something we'll look at in the future. Perfect. There we go. Okay, now we have our brand new flax field. This will grow in 103 hours. So what is that? A few days that we're going to have to wait for that. Perfect. So we have our flax done. I think we do need to think about a second grain. Spelt might be good. It's not my favorite. Rye might be even better for us. So perhaps that's what we'll do. The rest of this flax still needs to come in. I'm not going to go ahead and pick all of those yet. Oh, and the cabbage is almost done as well. Soybeans are done. That's really important for us. Let's go ahead and pick up our soybeans while we are here. And what we're going to end up doing is actually converting any soybeans that we've got over into their seed alternate, because soybeans are one of the most powerful foods in the pack. All right, so same thing again. We're going to put our wooden pan down. We're going to grab our soybeans. And oh, do these not transform? Can we not make more soybean seeds here? Let me check here. Oh, we need shears. All right, great. Well, I had made up copper shears earlier because I suspected we would need them for something. This is I made bronze shears, right. I knew we would need them for something, and this is a great thing to use them for. I can't think of really any better use than making sure we have lots and lots of soybeans. Now we have 61. It may seem counterintuitive to not be making any food at this point, and it is already July, but we do have enough time, I think, to finish out at least one other round of soybeans. So let's go over here, and we're looking for any place that is still high on K. This one is still really good. I don't mean that the way it sounded. So eventually I do want to continue to grow and expand my fields here to the point where we just have more food than we know what to do with. I would love to have just an absolutely astonishing amount of some of these if we can. That rye isn't quite done, so we're just going to leave that one plant here and we'll come back for it later. So with that done, what we really need to consider here is how we are going to do the rest of the smelting that we need to do. So I'm going to start by getting as much firewood as I can here without using up too much of our remaining maple. We cut down a bunch of trees to clear that hill, so we should have a bunch here that we can use. So we're going to use this to make charcoal. That's going to be the primary goal. We're going to grab all of these pieces of firewood, and then on top of that, we are going to need 4 more pieces, as well as just a little bit of grass. So just 1 piece of grass I think will be enough. All right, so I think that will be an adequate start. Let's grab up our dry grass. We're going to put that, whoops, did I do that wrong? There we go. Okay, so there we go. Put that on there. There is a fire pit, and now we just need to close it in. And last but not least, we can light this up. Wonderful. That is lit. We are going to put a block on top of it, and we should still see smoke coming off of it, and we do. Beautiful. All right, so that is taken care of, but charcoal, I think, is only going to be a starting point for us. Eventually, we are going to need a lot more than just charcoal, and we're going to go after the black coal that we found way, all the way up here. Nope, where is it? Even further? Yeah, in the nosebleeds, all the way back up here. We'll also dip in and check out these ruins that we found here. There's another ruin over here that I want to check. Now, because we are playing Vintagestory, it takes forever to hike all the way up there. We have not unlocked translocators, so I did want to be honest, I'm just going to teleport up there. It's just going to take me like 20 minutes to walk all the way, and that's not really worth it. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Always put yourself into creative mode before you are teleporting, because otherwise you might end up somewhere that you don't want to be and die immediately. So I hadn't really gotten a chance to explore this ruin properly when I came through last time. Oh, these are all aged logs. That's fascinating. So I thought this would be a actually dead tree, but rammed earth? Huh, is this some sort of a weird decorative block? Yeah, that's fascinating. So I think these are supposed to be keys that are hanging from here. Oh, look at these banners. Okay, let's get back into survival mode so we're doing this properly. And I would love to have these banners. Look at that with the keys on it. Oh, that's beautiful. But I don't think that's a banner. I think that is painted on there. Is it? Okay, this is great. We've got a lot of crates as well. We might go ahead and break these down. There are some doors in here. I'm hearing doors opening and closing. Let's go ahead and look in here. Ooh, torch holder. Yes, please. We were short on those. Ruined lanterns. Oh, look at this chiseling in here, y'all. More banners. Whoa. Okay, corrupt saw blade locust. We are not going to mess with you. But I believe we have found a library. Look at all these ruined bookshelves with books. Bowtorn. Give me this. Oh, look at this. Some sort of a dungeon, maybe? Is that what this is? Oh, shield. Okay, that's a ruined suit, but I don't see why we can't take the shield, right? And it has almost no durability left, so we'll have to find a way, if we can, to repair that. This is incredible. This is a really, really nicely designed space, and I think what it says to me is, oh, even more. Oh, and here's another one of those tapestries that we had gotten before. You know what? This gives me a very interesting idea. What if we built ourselves a library? I think that could be a really cool project to work on here. It doesn't have to be like a huge library, but a decently sized one. Oh, and it looks like there's a whole other section of ruin over there. Okay, in that corner. So yeah, what if we started collecting more and more books and scroll racks and all of this, and use this to construct ourselves a functional library and try to collect as much knowledge as we can that still survives in the world. We could basically take our little base and set ourselves up as lorists, where we collect stories from all over, and then anybody that wants to come and find knowledge can come and join us. I think that could be a really cool project, because just look at all of these bookshelves. Even these ruined ones, I think, do have potentially a purpose for us. So we will come back here at a later date and gather up as much of this as we possibly can and see if we can't collect this whole thing, basically cleaning out this entire space until we have lots and lots and lots of books and paintings and all sorts of things that we will use in our new library. Oh, and this goes even further down. Okay. And another corrupt sawblade locust. We've got, black bronze shovel. Oh, iron door. Can I get through these somehow? Let's see here. If I can break this. Oh, and we got a free iron door for our trouble. Okay, that's good to know. Whoa! Oh. Alright, locust nest, zinc. Look at all of this. This is one of the more impressive ruins I have ever seen in this game. This is absolutely mind-boggling. Alright, we are not going to mess with the locusts, but now we know what happened here. They dug too deep and they found things they should not find. Alright. So here's another small ruin I found that is right next to a pit, and so I was very curious what could potentially be down in this pit. Already I can see what looks to be like coal. Well, I just fell off my ladder all the way down to the bottom of this, and I'm actually really glad that I did, because look what we found. Salt. We finally found salt, and plenty of it. Wonderful. And right next to the halite, we have bountiful gold, and it looks like we've got a bunch of it. Oh, and a bell. Yeah, you're not good. I think maybe just one stack at most of halite, because I don't want to spend all day mining this when we are really after coal on this mission. Hello, friend. Okay, what do you got for me? Let's see here. Just stuff I can make at home. Cabbage seeds would almost be worth it if I had more gears on me, but I don't have any of that, and the fat honestly would also be worth it. But we don't have gears, so I think in my chest I have one gear. Oh, and there's another trader right next door. And Repos. What have you got? Oh, you have a lot of interesting porcelain vessels. Oh, I would absolutely love to buy that from you. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, I will remember that you're here and that this is worth checking out in the future, because those are just too beautiful not to come back for. Alright, so somewhere in this vast expanse, I believe I found coal the last time I dipped down in here. So yeah, there we go, black coal. I don't know that there'll be a lot of it, but there's a little here and a little there. So let's start with the top and work our way down. So that'll be a little bit easier for us. Oh, and look what we found directly behind that, fire clay. That's amazing. You know, in all of this time, I still haven't found any blue clay, but fire clay we will always take also. That's going to be really nice for us to have. So we'll take all of this out of the middle of our coal here. But if you all have seen me pass by any blue clay in my wandering, please do let me know. I added a mod that allows us to make clay. There we go, blue-gray clay in soil. This makes blue-gray clay. And the recipe that I added here allows us to powder shale and add water to it, and then we can get blue clay, because I couldn't think of a better way of doing this. So we also need to keep an eye out for more shale like we had found before at that last location. I mean, you certainly know that you are getting frustrated when you have to find a mod just to be able to manufacture clay. But again, we talked about this in the previous episode where I was building. You know, the randomness involved in this game can just be a little bit punishing sometimes. Okay, it took me about 15-20 minutes, but we have now dug all the way around this formation of coal. So we at least know the perimeter of it, and this is a pretty big space here. If you look at the marks on the map here, this kind of delineates the edges of it. So that's a healthy amount. We also found some borax in here if we need to come back for it. All right, so I still have more than half of a pickaxe worth of durability, and we do have a decent amount of room left in our inventory. One thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put down a crate. There we go. And I'm gonna put all of our conglomerate stone into the crate so that we don't have to carry that in our inventory and take up space. There we go. We will probably come back for this at some point so that we can have all of this stone. I don't really use conglomerate for building much, but for stony paths or something like that, it'll be absolutely fine. We also picked up one small piece of fluorite so far from the canned jewelry mod, and again, we'll use that to make some jewelry at a point in the future. All right, so we almost have a stack of black coal, so we have a decent amount of mining still ahead of us, and hopefully our new friends here will leave us in peace while we try to do that. All right, well, we now have broken our pickaxe, and so we have 1,213.70 altogether of black coal. That is a wonderful place to be. We also have 4,400 fire clay and a bunch of conglomerate stone. Let me put the rest of this in here. There we go. All right, so we are going to need to pick up and carry these back to base, I believe. Can we do that with just, yeah, in our hands here? So since I'm planning on teleporting, I'm going to teleport myself while carrying this, come back, and then we will get another round. So let me go get myself back to base. Like I said, ordinarily walking would be the way I would do this, but it's just going to take way too long to do this. All right, back at base, I've unloaded all of our various items here. I did not realize that linen sacks were so easy to make. So we're going to go ahead and make up a bunch more while we are at it, because we already have plenty of linen squares from when we were making our windmill pieces. We probably do need more linen because I do want to upgrade at some point, but let's see here. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. That's enough of those. Now I just have to clean this out a little bit here. Let's get rid of some of this coal for now. All right, so let's get these just swapped out real quick. If only I had realized these were in the game earlier. I completely forgot about them. Oh, but I can't put that down until I swap out these into this slot, put these here. There we go. Can I cut up these hand baskets? Do I remember correctly that these can be turned back into cattails? Yes, they can. Wonderful. We lose a little bit there, but it's totally worth it. Now we have more cattails that we can use for other things. And our inventory space is considerably grown now. This is wonderful. This is a much better place. Okay, so let's see here. What have we got? The halite we want to take and grind that into salt so that we can use it. It looks like it is an ingredient for a variety of other things here, but right now I think going ahead and grinding it back into salt with the stack that we've got makes a lot of sense. So I believe, is this quern ground or... Yeah, it grinds in a quern. It is not pulverized. Okay, I should go ahead and automate our quern here momentarily, but It looks like this is going very slowly. We should work on that in the future. Okay, it's probably because the wind has dropped so considerably here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can corn this up real fast. Let's go ahead and put you in here. There we go. And now we just, we click and hold. All right, salt is done. I really need to automate that. That took forever, but we've got most everything else automated. Maybe our next big project will be continue expanding the automation of our windmill area. But for now, I think I need to go off camera here a bit and do some more forging because we still need to repair all of our pickaxe from that adventure. We have 3 broken pickaxes, 0 actually complete pickaxes, and watching forging is not the most exciting thing in the world. So for now, we're going to call that the end of this episode. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends!